When you have a small business, it's easy to think you can handle all the tasks that need to be completed and wear the many hats that come with owning a business. This is true, or even possible, when you're just starting your business. But as your business grows and each task starts to take more time, you'll find you may not be able to handle everything yourself and may need help. One of the first tasks small business owners look at hiring out is their bookkeeping. In fact, it's often listed as the most frustrating aspect of owning a small business, and it doesn't matter if you're doing your bookkeeping manually or using QuickBooks, Xero, or Wave to help you automate your bookkeeping. You may have felt this way and wanted to hire a bookkeeper from the very beginning of starting your business if you didn't feel qualified or confident doing your bookkeeping. Or maybe you really like keeping track of all the money coming in and going out of your business. Either way, there's some pretty important signs you'll notice in your business which will help you make the decision of whether or not you need to hire a bookkeeper to help you master your small business finances. Many small business owners think hiring a bookkeeper is expensive, but in reality, depending on how many transactions you have in your business, you may be able to have your bookkeeping done for as little as $100 per month. Today, I'm going to dive into a few of the signs that show up when you may need a bookkeeper, and I'm going to help you decide if and when you should start thinking about hiring a bookkeeper for your small business. Your financials tell you a lot about your business and help guide you to make sound business decisions, but when you don't have accurate, reliable, and timely information, you and your business could start to suffer. Listen in and find out if you may have reached or are getting close to reaching these important signs that you should hire a bookkeeper for your small business. You're listening to the Mastering Your Small Business Finances podcast, where we get straight to the point on topics that ultimately affect your bottom line. That's right, as an entrepreneur with a small business, money management, growth, marketing, they all affect your bottom line. I'm your host, Chris Ponick. I'm a certified public accountant, and I've been helping small business owners like you navigate and easily understand these complicated topics for over 25 years. I'm a wife, a mom, a grandmother, and a small business owner myself, so I know your time is valuable. In my free time, I make the best sugar cookies and have mastered an amazing chocolate chip cookie recipe. And that's not just my opinion. You're in the right place. I promise your time will be well spent here. Each week, you'll gain confidence and clarity while making a successful impact on your business and grow your bottom line. Get comfy, grab a cookie, and let's get straight to the point with this week's episode. Are you looking for a computerized software solution to do your bookkeeping? I highly recommend checking out QuickBooks Online. I've been using QuickBooks myself for over 20 years, and they really know how to streamline processes and make your bookkeeping and recording your transactions simple and easy. QuickBooks is one of the top software solutions used by small business owners, and I would say that over 95% of my clients are currently using QuickBooks for their businesses. One of the features most of my clients and I take advantage of is the option to set up bank feeds. You simply link your bank account to your QuickBooks account, and QuickBooks will automatically import each transaction into your QuickBooks file. You'll save a ton of time not having to manually enter each of these transactions. You simply review each of the transactions and make sure they're getting recorded to the appropriate account, and then click one button and they're in. Want to know more? Head over to financialadventure.com/QuickBooks and learn how you can save 50% off of your first 3 months. Welcome back. Making a decision to hire a bookkeeper can feel overwhelming and complicated, especially since when you get to this point, you, as the business owner, are normally time-strapped and have even less time to look for a bookkeeper. I want to help you proactively see the signs that you need a bookkeeper early so that you will know when you should hire a bookkeeper and it isn't a stressful situation where you're rushing to find a quick fix to your problems. When you make this decision, it should be clear and you should feel good about the decision you're making, as well as enjoying the additional time you're opening up to spend on other areas of your business. The first thing I want you to do is to have a good idea of how much time you're currently spending on your bookkeeping. To do this, track the total amount of time it takes you to complete your bookkeeping tasks each week for at least 1 month. Once you have this amount of time figured out, ask yourself if there are more important things in your business that you should be getting done. Like, if you spent more time on sales, would this generate additional income? To help you decide, you can also determine how much your time is actually worth and calculate how much it's costing you to do your own bookkeeping. To do this, take into consideration how much 1 hour of your time is worth, and multiply this by the time it takes you to do your bookkeeping. Comparing your actual cost or expense to do the bookkeeping to the cost of hiring a bookkeeper to do the same work can give you a clear vision of whether you should continue to do your bookkeeping or not. If you feel like your time would be better spent doing other tasks in your business and you could be more profitable by handing your bookkeeping off to someone else, this may be a good time to start looking into hiring a bookkeeper for your small business. Next, ask yourself if your bookkeeping is up to date. If you're finding you put your bookkeeping off for months at a time and you're never able to rely on your books to make sound business decisions, you're putting additional stress on yourself as well as your business. I get it, there are only so many hours in a day, and you probably have good intentions, but when you start to notice you're having a hard time keeping up, that's when you need to start looking for a bookkeeper to help you get caught up and consistently have reliable information for you to look at on a monthly basis. By not having your bookkeeping up to date, you could be missing out on tax strategies to help reduce your taxable income. When this happens, you won't be able to keep your hard-earned money in your pockets and will instead be sending it off to good old Uncle Sam. When you have a qualified bookkeeper helping you compile your data, you're able to rely on accurate and timely information. This, in turn, helps you make better decisions and allows you to plan accordingly. Another sign, which is very similar to putting off your bookkeeping, is when you don't even touch or plan to do your bookkeeping throughout the year and you decide you'll just bring all your documents and files into your tax preparer for them to generate financial statements after a full year has gone by to process your small business tax return. By the time your tax preparer compiles all of your financial information, it's normally too late to take advantage of any tax strategies, and you were never able to use any of your financial information to guide your business decisions throughout the past year. Not only could you be missing out on potential tax write-offs, but you could also be paying a premium price to have this work caught up during the tax season when your tax preparer or your certified public accountant is in their busiest season. What if I asked you right at this moment, how much money do your customers owe you? Would you be able to give me a pretty solid answer? Would you be able to break it down by each customer? If you know you have money coming in from customers but have no clue how much and when it will be reaching your bank account, you may want to have a bookkeeper help you with this. Cash flow is one of the main problems small business owners struggle with. Easing the stress in just this one area could be a huge win for you if you hired a bookkeeper to help you keep your receivables up to date. Imagine how nice it would be to request and receive an accounts receivable report at any point in time, and you know exactly who owes you money and how much. It is also important to keep an eye on those customers who are not paying you. Collecting from your customers who are extremely delinquent on their payments can be harder and harder to do. You want to make sure you're catching these amounts early and following up with those customers on a timely basis. Another point to think about here as well is if you're able to actually invoice your customers on time, or if you find you're too busy and invoicing your customers doesn't get done right away. This will also slow down your cash flow and the ability to collect on money that customers owe. Have you noticed your late fees are adding up? If you're consistently paying additional late fees due to untimely payments, you could be saving this money, or think of it this way. You could even apply that savings directly towards the cost of a bookkeeper. Not only would you be saving money by ensuring you're making payments on time, but you would also be saving the time you would normally be spending on your bookkeeping. This is a win-win situation for sure. If you feel like your business is starting to get too complicated and you don't understand the complexity of how your bookkeeping needs to be done, this is another sign you should be looking for a bookkeeper. Let's face it, you may be an expert in your field, and that's why your business is so successful, right? But when you start to doubt if you're doing your bookkeeping correctly, you want to hire a bookkeeper. Just as you are an expert in your field, bookkeepers are experts in, yes, you guessed it, bookkeeping. Don't waste your valuable time guessing how your bookkeeping should be done and basing your business decisions on potentially incorrect data. If you feel uncomfortable about your books, now is probably the time to hire a bookkeeper. Not only will your books be accurate, but you'll have peace of mind knowing you didn't have to second-guess your decisions. Keep these signs in mind as your business grows, and ask yourself periodically if you need to hire a bookkeeper. As your business grows, you will need to reassess your situation. Your small business finances are one of the top reasons your business will be successful. You'll want to make sure that you're relying on accurate and timely financial information. Don't wait until it's too late to make these decisions. If you're noticing the signs I mentioned are impacting your small business, start looking for a bookkeeper today. You want to make sure you have the time to find someone who is not only capable to do your bookkeeping, but you want to have a good relationship with the bookkeeper you choose so that you feel comfortable asking questions. If you're starting your journey to find a bookkeeper and need help, I have a link posted where you're listening to this podcast. I'd love to help connect you with a trusted and qualified bookkeeper, or you can always email me at info@financialadventure.com and let me know. I always personally respond to all my emails. If you're thinking about starting a bookkeeping business, or you're a bookkeeper looking for additional clients for your existing bookkeeping business, you can go to financialadventure.com/discovery to set up a call to see if you have the proper knowledge and skills to help small business owners with their bookkeeping. If you're qualified, I'll add you to my list of available bookkeepers. I see a huge disconnect here, and I want to help both you as a small business owner and bookkeepers who have the skills and availability to take on additional clients. All right, to recap this episode. Number 1, making a decision to hire a bookkeeper can feel overwhelming and complicated. I want to help you proactively see the signs that you need a bookkeeper early so that you will know when you should hire a bookkeeper and it isn't a stressful situation where you're rushing to find a quick fix to your problems. Number 2, how much time are you currently spending on your bookkeeping? Determine how much your time is actually worth and calculate how much it's costing you to do your own bookkeeping. Comparing your actual cost or expense to do the bookkeeping yourself to the cost of hiring a bookkeeper to do the same work can give you a clear vision of whether you should continue to do your own bookkeeping. Number 3, ask yourself if your bookkeeping is up to date. If you find that you put your bookkeeping off for months at a time and you're never able to rely on your books to make sound business decisions, it may be time to look for a bookkeeper. You could be missing out on tax strategies to help reduce your taxable income. Number 4, if you don't even touch or plan to do your bookkeeping throughout the year, and you decide you'll just bring all your documents and files into your tax preparer for them to generate financial statements, not only could you be missing out on potential tax write-offs, but you could also be paying a premium price to have this work caught up during tax season. Number 5, do you know how much money your customers owe you? Cash flow is one of the main problems small business owners struggle with. And just imagine how nice it would be to request and receive an accounts receivable report at any point in time and know exactly who owes you money and how much. Number 6, if you're unable to actually invoice your customers on time, or you find you're too busy to invoice your customers right away, this is another sign you could use a bookkeeper. Number 7, if you're consistently paying additional late fees due to untimely payments, you could be saving this money and applying it to the cost of your bookkeeper. Number 8, do you feel like your business is starting to get too complicated? Bookkeepers are experts in bookkeeping. Don't waste your valuable time guessing how bookkeeping should be done and basing your business decisions on potentially incorrect data. Number 9, as your business grows, you will need to reassess your situation. If you're noticing the signs I mentioned are impacting your small business, start looking for a bookkeeper today. You want to make sure you have the time to find someone who is not only capable to do your bookkeeping, but you want to have a good relationship with your bookkeeper so that you feel comfortable asking questions. And you know I'm going to ask, what's at least one thing you'll take away from this episode that will help your business succeed and grow your bottom line? If you need some accountability, join our private Facebook community and post your action item. We'd love to support you. Thanks for taking the time to tune into this episode of Mastering Your Small Business Finances. If you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed creating it for you, I'd love for you to give it a 5-star rating and subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. Visit financialadventure.com for the show notes, links from this episode, and while you're there, leave a comment if you have a topic you're interested in learning more about that affects your bottom line. If you're looking for a community where you can ask questions and get feedback about your small business, join my private Facebook group. You can find the links to this group and more on financialadventure.com. And remember, any financial information shared on this podcast is not to be considered professional, financial, or tax advice and should not be solely relied upon. Please consult your CPA or tax advisor for an opinion on your specific circumstances. I'm looking forward to having you tune in next time. Until then, dream big, follow your heart, and love what you do.